What is up guys, welcome to Anime Empyrean. In this video, we will be counting down top 10 anime where main characters turn into villains. Also, from now on, I'll be uploading videos twice a week, so make sure to follow up. If you are new, make sure to subscribe, press the like button, and before starting this video, turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of the future updates. Starting from number 10, we have Masamune's Tune Revenge. As a child, Masamune Makabe once suffered greatly at the hands of a wealthy and beautiful girl named Aki, who nicknamed him Piggy due to his chubby appearance. Seeking revenge against his tormentor, Masamune works hard to improve himself and return as an incredibly handsome high school student. When he encountered Aki once again, he is prepared to exact vengeance. With the aid of the rich girl's mate, Yoshino Koiwai, Masamune slowly begins to build his relationship with Aki, intending to break her heart when the time is right. However, as his friendship with the Aki begins to grow, Masamune starts to question the objectives of his devious plans, and if bringing them to fruition is what his heart truly desires. At 9th place, we have Saga of Tanya the Evil. For having insulted God, an arrogant Japanese salaryman in the moment of his sudden death is sentenced to be reborn in an alternate universe similar to the 1910s Europe, in an empire torn apart by countless wars with all the nearby countries. The salaryman is reborn as a second Lieutenant Tanya of the Imperial Army, a 9-year-old soldier girl. Plus this, according to the god words, if she is not able to die a natural death or she refuses to have faith in him, her soul will leave the circle and be sent to the hell for countless sins that Tanya has committed in her previous life. In search for an escape, Tanya decides to enter the Empire's Mages Division, hoping to reach the high enough rank as fast as possible to remain far from the battlefield and in this way avoid the risk of being killed. Even if she is now forced to speak with a young girl's lisp, Tanya soon returns into a ruthless soldier who prioritizes efficiency and her own career over anything else. In the 8th place, 91 Days. Angelo Lagusa, a young man whose family was murdered in the mafia dispute, seeks revenge against the Venetti family, particularly its don, Vincent Venetti. After 7 years in hiding following the night of murder, Angelo receives an anonymous letter from a friend of his father's, prompting him to return to Lawless and exact his revenge. Under the name of Avilio Bruno, he begins to infiltrate the Venetti family by slowly befriending the Don's son, Nero. However, in this dramatic 91 Days story, revenge breeds revenge, and killing may yield drastic consequences. Number 7. Hellsing Ultimate. Hellsing is named after the Royal Order of Protestant Knights, originally led by Abraham van Helsing. The mission of Hellsing is to search for and destroy the undead and other supernatural forces of evil that threaten the Queen and the country. This organization is led by Sir Integra, who inherited the leadership of Hellsing as a child after the death of her father. She witnessed his death, which turned her from once an innocent and shy little girl to a deadly and tough force. She is protected by a faithful Hellsing family butler, Walter C. Gomez, a deadly foe in his own right, and Elusard, the original and most powerful vampire who swore loyalty to the Hellsing family after being defeated by Van Helsing 100 years before the story takes place. These formidable guardians are joined early on in the storyline by a former police officer, Ceres Victoria, whom Elusard turned into a vampire. As the scale and frequency of incidents involving the undead escalate in England and all around the world, Sir Integra discovers that remnant of Nazi group called Millennium still exist and are intent on reviving Nazi Germany by creating a battalion of vampires. In the 6th place, we have Terror in Resonance. Terror in Resonance is an anime that follows two boys, 9 and 12, as they enact their terrorist bombing attack on the Tokyo Metropolitan Government building. However, midway through the execution of their plan, one of them is discovered by a depressed schoolgirl Lisa. Thus the two boys are left with a dilemma: kill Lisa or welcome her as a co-conspirator. And after some tense debate, they chose the latter. From there, the first half of the series follows 9 and 12 subsequent terrorist attacks, disgraced Detective Shibazaki's work to prevent those attacks, and Lisa's feeble attempts to figure out where she fits in with the both terrorists and the greater world in general. All in all, the first half of the show is set up like a mystery of the week cop drama, with the hints of greater mystery sprinkled throughout each episode to keep you craving more. Moreover, a lot of time is spent fleshing out Detective Shibazaki's, and the police and the other characters seem both intelligent and interesting in general. At number 5, we have FLCL. Naota Nandana is an ordinary 6th grader living in the city where nothing amazing ever seems to happen. After his brother Tasuku leaves town to play basketball in America, Naota takes it upon himself to look after everything Tasuku left behind. From his top bunk bed to his ex-girlfriend Mamimi Samejima, who hasn't stopped clinging to Naota since Tasuku left. Little does Naota know, however, that this mundane existence is on the verge of being changed forever. Enter Haruko, a Vespa-riding, bass guitar-wielding, pink-haired psychopath whose first encounter with the Naocha leaves him with the tire track on his back and a giant horn on his head. Though all he wants is some peace and quiet. When Haruko takes up residence at his parents' home, Naocha finds himself dragged into the heart of the greatest battle for supremacy that Earth and quite possibly the entire universe has ever seen. At number 4, we have Psycho-Pass. Psycho-Pass is a set of futuristic era in Japan where the Cybele system, a powerful system of psychometric scanners, actively measures the mind and mentalities of the civilized population using cymatic scan of the brain. The resulting assessment is called Psycho-Pass. When the calculated likelihood of an individual committing a crime measured by a crime coefficient index exceeds an accepted threshold, he or she is pursued, apprehended, and killed if necessary by police forces. Elite officers labeled enforcers are equipped with large handguns called dominators, a special weapon that only activates when aimed at a suspect with higher than acceptable crime coefficients. Enforcers are themselves selected for innately high crime coefficients, marking them as latent criminals. They are overseen by police inspectors who have the jurisdiction to shoot them with their dominators if they pose a danger to the public. Coming to the number 3, we have Elfin Light. Elfin Light take place in Kamakura and Kanagawa and focuses on Diclonius, a newly mutated species. Their appearance is similar to humans but with several differences, namely horn-like protrusions on the forehead and presence of telekinetic invisible arms called vectors. One such Diclonius, Lucy, is the main character of the series. Initially held in the facility built for experimentation, located off the coast of Kamakura, she manages to escape and wreak havoc, but is injured in the process, an event which causes her to develop a secondary childlike personality known as Niu. Lucy is found by two locals, Kauta, who studies at the local university, and his cousin Yuka. They take her in and become involved with the numerous, often brutal attempts to recapture her by Special Assault Team and a number of other Diclonius who shift frequently from oblivious to murderous. At number 2, we have Code Geass. The Empire of Britannia has invaded Japan using giant robot weapons called Nightmare Frames. Japan is now referred to as Area 11 and its people the 11s. The Britannian, who was living in Japan at the time, Lelouch, vowed to his Japanese friend Suzaku that he would destroy Britannia. Years later, Lelouch is in high school but regularly skips out of school to go play chess and gamble on himself. One day he stumbles on terrorist 11s who have stolen a military secret and is caught by a member of Britannian task force sent after them, who is Suzaku. As the rest of the squad arrives, Suzaku is shot for disobeying orders while the military secret, a young immortal witch, gives Lelouch the power of Geass, which makes anyone obey any order. While Suzaku is secretly made the pilot of Britannia's brand new prototype Nightmare, Fancilet, Lelouch becomes the masked Zero to lead the rebellion to destroy Britannia once and for all. Finally, at the top of our list is Death Note. A Shinigami as a god of death can kill any person provided they see their victim's face and write their victim's name in the notebook called Death Note. One day, Ryu, bored by the Shinigami lifestyle,
and interested in seeing how humans would use a death note, drops one into a human realm. High school student and prodigy Light Yagami stumbles upon the death note, and since he deplores the state of the world, tests the deadly notebook by writing criminal's name in it. When the criminal dies immediately following his experiment with the death note, Light is greatly surprised and quickly recognizes how devastating the power that has fallen into his hands could be. With this divine capability, Light decides to extinguish all criminals in order to build a new world where crime does not exist and people worship him as a god. Police, however, quickly discover that serial killer is targeting criminals and try to apprehend the culprit. To do this, the Japanese investigators count on the assistance of the best detective in the world, a young and eccentric man only known by the name of L.
Alright everyone, that's all for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. What do you think of our list? Let me know in your comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.
All the choices you made, did you make them again?